had to start with the darkness to fuel our moving into the light, right? Whereas once we were blind, now we can see. Look at what has opened up for us. But again, we had to start with the darkness to fuel our moving into the light, right? Whereas once we were blind, now we can see. Look at what has opened up for us. So now we've got flow. Now you've seen why this has changed my life, and I need it on a regular basis. Okay, you got flow, but then what do, right? So then you have to find your passion. That's the bumper stick. Find your passion. Follow your dreams. Figure out how you can make a contribution with your passion. But I get it. Not everybody can immediately know what they're passionate about. There's so many options. There's an infinite, boundless menu of possibilities. Timothy Leary talks about the vertigo of freedom. There's so much to do. I don't know. I'm paralyzed. You're paralyzed. I get it. It's overwhelming. The paralysis of choice. Open up Netflix. How many times do you spend browsing for 20 minutes and then it's like, I don't want to watch anything. No matter what you choose, it's not going to be the right thing. It's, So, you have to figure out this passion thing from all the possible ways in which you could invest yourself. Stephen Kotler, also from the Flow Genome Project, wrote this article in Forbes that I was like, holy shit, he deconstructed passion. Here is the formula. And I'm not into like worksheets and workshops to teach you how to do this stuff, but this was so clear that I was like, oh shit, gotta make a video about it. Here's how you find your passion if you don't know it. You make a list. 15 things that you're really curious about, right? Elizabeth Gilbert, who wrote Eat, Pray, Love, often talks about the pressure of knowing your passion. And she says, if you don't know your passion, at least chase curiosity. Because at least you know things you're curious about, and you can make a list. So Kotler goes on, make a list of 15 things you're curious about. So let's say I'm curious about space. I'm curious about existentialism. I'm curious about the singularity. Like, you make a list. And then you have 15 things. Now what you're going to do is you're going to try to sort of create a Venn diagram, and you're going to find out where these things overlap. Where do 3 to 5 of those 15 things you're curious about overlap, right? Because now they're spilling into each other. See, anything you're curious about is squirting dopamine. So it's already, there's neurobiology there, right? But if you have multiple things that you're curious about overlapping, that's a lot of neurobiology, right? Follow the chemical trail. You know, like, we are mediated by neurochemistry. Our ecstasies and our sadness is all mediated by neurochemistry. So just chase that dopamine hit, but be smart about it. You know, not the slot machine style dopamine hit, but like, here's a lot of things I'm curious about. Here's where they overlap. That is the way to your passion. Clear, easy. Follow along and you get it. Then he says, now you know your passion, or at least the direction of it. Find a need in the world that can be served by your passion, right? Because then it's like you have curiosity, which leads to passion. Passion now leads to purpose. Oh yeah. A reason to get up in the morning. Raison d'être. Reason for being. A reason for moving, a reason for taking action, a reason that matters, a reason that makes you matter. Curiosity, passion, purpose. And guess what? You know what your flow is, so you can also bring insights from that idea, right? So these are the things that give me flow. These are the things I'm curious about. These are where these things I'm curious about overlap. And they overlap in ways that if I go this direction, I can also be in flow when those curiosities overlap. Holy shit, and there's a purpose that I can serve by being in flow, playing with all the things I'm curious about, and serving a need in the world. Oh my God, you fucking figured it out. That's it. Done. Go home. Bye. Like, that's the solution. I try to apply that to my own life. I ask myself, you know, on darker days, you know, if I have a cold and I'm having an existential meltdown because my body's not performing that day, I'm like, okay, I get to do videos about things that I really love, and I'm passionate about all these things, and when I talk about them in my videos and making the video, that's great. People seem to like the videos. Okay, so that's good. I have a purpose, you know. And then finally, right, this love for technology that I was talking about as, again, a metaphor for all the ways in which we redefine our boundaries in the world, right? So the guys behind the X Prize Foundation recently came up with this idea in terms of purpose. They're like, in the age of exponential technologies, in the age in which technology is going so fast, in the age in which a young person in rural Africa with a smartphone has better communications technology than a head of state had 25 years ago, the supercomputers to change the world are now in everybody's hands. In the age of that, which is the age we live in today, how can you come up with an idea, your curiosity, your passion, your purpose, an idea that gets you in the flow, that can actually positively touch 1 billion people? And they said, let's reframe the term billionaire and say that a new billionaire in the age of exponential technologies and existential angst, the new billionaire is somebody who figures out what they're curious about, what they're passionate about, what puts them in the zone, and what they can conceive to serve the world with that will positively touch 1 billion people. Now that is an ambition worth having, I hope. So there was a wonderful article by Stephen Kotler published in Forbes about how to find your passion. It's a question we ask ourselves every single day. We've all been told that a life of passion is a life that means something. But how do we identify our passions? It's not always easy. So one of the things that Stephen Kotler breaks down is that he says that passion essentially exists in the intersection between multiple things that you're curious about. So he says the first thing you should do if you want to identify your passion is to make a list of all the things that you're curious about, all the things that you wonder about. Be as specific as you can. And then create kind of a Venn diagram and try to figure out where the things that you're curious about, 3 or more, intersect. And that's the sweet spot. That's where there is energy. That's where there is dopamine and neurobiology. Multiple streams of curiosity intersect at a space called passion, right? And then once you've identified your passion, then you can figure out how to turn that passion into a purpose. To turn that passion into a purpose, make a list of 15 things in the world, 15 challenges you'd like to see solved. And then figure out which one of those challenges can be served by your passion. So then you see, curiosity leads to passion. Multiple streams of curiosity leads to passion. Identifying problems in the world that can be served by your passion leads to purpose. And then, my friends, you've impregnated your life with a sense of significance, with a sense of meaning. And then you can go forth, my brothers. You can go forth.